from outside today. I was having a good conversation with a friend of mine. It's a female. And we was just touching on the basis of just how weird society is, and we have suppressed so much, especially people with my skin color. We have suppressed so much spiritually about ourselves that we just going through an endless loop in assimilation. It's just assimilation we going through. We're looping the same things over and over and over again because nobody even understands this. So nobody has sat still long enough to even get in tune with their spirit and who they are to the core, so that they can actually live. You know what I'm saying? Like live, not just exist and just go towards a endless pursuit towards some type of desire that's not gonna feel like nothing when you get to it. So it's more so about just trying to bring awareness to becoming whole again. Like just not trying to identify yourself, but just trying to understand yourself. Because life is not about winning, maintaining your sanity, and it's about not forgetting who you are. And to not forget who you are, first you have to remember who you are. Because there's nothing new under the sun. Your spirit always resonates with things for a reason. It resonates because it remembers who it is. You know, we was put here on the earth, our memories were erased, and it's our duty to come back to self-mastery, to come back to self, to come back to who we truly are internally. And it's a beautiful journey. You know, the self journey is nothing more important or more beautiful than it. It's painful, it's deep, it can be complicated, but it's necessary for your freedom. You know, we can call it enlightenment, we can call it spiritually awakening. I don't really like to put a label on things, but just simply coming back home. You know what I'm saying? So I want to do my part by spreading the good news and reminding people of God's kingdom. You know, God's kingdom is inside of us, inside every last one of us. We all have a purpose here. We all have a divine purpose on this plane, on this dimension, to overcome. Either we shedding off karma, either we beating addictions, feeding the homeless, giving back. And some people out here just to show what unconditional love really is. Just to spread unconditional love. You know, most of us, we are judged off of what we have externally. Like if you don't have the house, the car, the money to show, people feel as though you ain't worth nothing. But the real flex, the real work is the unseen work, the internal growth, the emotional intelligence. That's the real flex. The real flex is how much you evolve. Evolution is the flex. Not something you can't take with you. Like all these possessions, and it's nothing wrong with owning things. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. But identifying by them, buying those things, you know, placing your worth on things that's not you, are always going to be flee. They're always going to flee from you. You're never going to be whole. You're never going to be satisfied. Because once you reach one goal, the ego is you can't please it. Because once you get to one place, the ego is like, what's next? All right, we got that, now what? So you don't have nothing internally to fall back on to feel good about yourself and to be joyful about. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to experience the joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the goal is not to be happy. Happiness comes and goes. You know, you get some good food, you're happy. You know, when it's gone, right back to whatever reality you was in before the food came. So I think it's important to always remember that self-mastery and your spiritual, feeding your spirit is more important than feeding your ego. It's just a never-ending empty cup that just wants. Your spirit knows what you need. Your spirit is always going to be your higher self telling you, hey, you got a purpose, a big purpose that you probably need to be paying attention to. But the more you suppress things about yourself, and don't integrate your dark and your light, the more you're going to neglect your spirit to the point where you might not even hear that voice anymore. We got time. That's about all we really have. And time is an illusion. I think staying in the moment never goes anywhere. The moment is always here. You could plan for the future, you could think about the past, you could time travel, but once you just sit and pause, there's nothing going on but this moment. Make the best out of this moment. Make it a priority to pay attention to who you are before somebody told you who you were, or before your heart was broken by this person, before you embodied this character, before you shape-shifted into this. It's a journey to the soul. Your soul is always unaffected, unapologetic. It's you. You just have to remember who you are. We all are here for different purposes, but we all are whole. We all are just chasing things to feel whole because we forgot who we were. You cannot manipulate somebody who knows who they are. Self-acceptance is key. Accept who you are and be free. The truth will definitely set you free. That's not a quote. That's real. So the realer you are with yourself, the more honest you are with yourself, the more you can shed the layers of programming. And the real duty of life is to unlearn. Learning is cool, but unlearning and deprogramming a lot of the bullshit that was placed on us is key to enlightenment. It's key to being free. If you really want to be free, unlearn. And then get filled up with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit and your true higher self will take you on the journey that you need to be going on, which is probably a 360 from what your ego probably think you need. So you got to be able to have discernment. Ask God, pray to God to strengthen your discernment. Discernment is needed because there's so many tricks that the ego plays, and there's so many tricks that society keeps you distracted by that will keep you from going down that path. This is a narrow, straight path, and a lot of people are either too scared to be on it or don't even know how to even start. So if you are one of the people who have God's grace, that you can do self-introspection and you can be self-aware, take advantage of it. Take advantage of the moment. That's the key word of this. I'm gonna name this video taking advantage of the moment. Take advantage of the moment. Love your life. Make sure it's your life you living and not somebody else's life. Nah, for real. Swagger.